Hello world. Welcome to OnlyFillers Podcast, the Dragon Ball Super to your DVC. I'm LDJ, and with me always is Steve, aka Sausa TV,
Ah,
aka The Betrayer. What's up, fish?
I only heard Betrayer because my audio wasn't doing what it was supposed to do for
Oh,
whatever
you
reason. But
didn't
hey,
you
now
didn't
now
hear
it's
the intro, man.
now it's fixed. Now it's fixed. That's what matters. Good. Yes, a lot of things going out of work again. It's getting fun. It's getting fun. They actually putting me to work. They realize that, which is like, oh no, but they're learning. But no, it's so good. Things are good overall. If we take into consideration many things, things are good.
Okay, man. I like that. Um. So yeah, my week has been very good. I am on a short school
Break.
vacation, break vacation, yeah, whatever. And so I've been doing other stuff, taking my daughter outside, playing some more, um, and watching movies, stuff like that, right? So we've been like going outside. So at least I got to spend this week like that. We're gonna talk about some of the movies, but yeah, I've been playing Horizon a lot, the DLC. Um, so that's been great. So I finished like a couple of, I think 2 weeks ago, I finished the main, I platted the game. And then I bought the DLC and I started to play with that. And it's been very good so far. And I guess, yeah, before we talk about movies, yeah, man. I ended the story. I didn't see anything like annoying, Like you said that the ending was your main issue. I really enjoyed the ending and how the characters like ended up. Aloy ended up with her team now, her crew, joining together. Even Silas, which Silence, which I don't know what will happen in the next game, right? Because he ends this game like being part now of her team, right? Like being part of her crew. Even in the DLC, he is there like to let her know that something is going on in the Burning Shore. So, right, the person that sends Aloy to the DLC, it's actually Silence. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that since the actor died, right?
Yeah, the voice actor, man, like I really like for me in Horizon. I think he was like one of the best parts of the games because he's such like a he's like an actual threat. Like in a world where no one knows anything, he knows a lot compared to a lot of people. So that makes him a threat compared to all the tribes and all the dinosaurs and all that. So it's sad because I really like the guy as a voice actor. He even has a major role or had a major role in Destiny. So
Hmm.
that's another thing that it's a huge loss for the voice acting industry in video games as a whole because he was a good actor. I really like him. I really enjoy him in John Wick,
John
even
Wick.
though
Yeah.
yeah, even though he wasn't like appearing every second, but when he was on screen, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and yeah, man, I don't know if they're gonna kill him off game, or if they're gonna just say, okay, we sent Silence to the space, or we send Silence to another part of the world, to the Quen, for example. Maybe he goes to the Quen to talk to the Emperor of the Quen, something like that, and that way he's off screen. um yeah, it's gonna be interesting in the next Horizon game what they'll do with his character, because he deserves like a good send off, like a good treatment. being like a key character since the first game. Second game also he's very important, and third game he was, I think he was gonna be very important because he's like the most, as you say, maybe most technological advance of them all. And so he was gonna help Aloy deal with Nemesis. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed these games gameplay, man. And the DLC they expanded a little bit even more. I think it's one of the best gameplays designs that I've seen, other than your Souls like, I don't know, Bloodborne. But yeah, I think I enjoyed, as we joke around throwing arrows and and stuff. I think they did a great job moving from the first one to the second one. So yeah, I don't know. I could spend hours, I think, in that world killing machines and upgrading my toolkit, and perfecting that stuff. That there is such a rich world in there, that it's a world, right? So that's why it's different than other games. But yeah, I think it's a very good well done open world game that really has many things to do if you like to do those, and lets you enjoy the game, the world. So that's my take on it. um how's your Yakuza, man?
It's going. I was actually playing when you text me, so I was like, oh no, I gotta save because this Yakuza is uh, it, that annoys me a little bit. That if you're in a cutscene and they're talking and they talk a lot, and they're when there's voice acting, because not everything has voice acting when they talk. If
Hmm.
they're talking, you gotta pay attention, but then you are stuck because you cannot get out of it, and if you get out of it, you don't get the story, and then you gotta find a place to save because they have like save points, like actual
Say.
physical save points. There's no, yeah. So if you're running around and for an hour and you forgot to save and somehow you die because of your own stupidity, yeah, you lost an hour, and that's on you. So you gotta be mindful on that, and that's like really, like, I'm used to it, like I'm okay with it, but people, I can't imagine someone that grew up with these autosave features in pretty much everywhere having that in the back of their mind.
Yeah, yeah, maybe some, especially younger audiences may struggle with having to find us
Yeah.
somewhere to. That's such an old concept, because of hardware and all that stuff. That I don't think that was like a design, but it was a technological limitation of the time where writing to a disk was slower, so it took time to save. Actually, time like maybe 2-3 seconds. I remember games like maybe a couple of seconds, of when you saved, like actually saving the game.
Yeah, I have that in mind. But I know what you mean, but I was thinking in the back of my head, like, which is the game, like, yo, that saving screen is long, and but no, I can think of any, especially, well, maybe with big games like a really really old open world. I remember The Witcher 3 because it's so massive, having like a saving, but yeah, 2-3 seconds. That's like the standard. Yeah, but that's like, it's crazy to think that. And well, Yakuza is not like it's not a children's game. It's more like it's actually old people's game because there's so many things, like it will go over your head. Like it can be stupid, like violence kind of fun because you just go around kicking people on the street in a way. But apart from that, they try to go deep on some areas, on some subjects like growing old, or try to fit into in a society that is no longer what it used to be, and you trying to figure your place in a new world, I guess, or in a changing world.
In a changing, is it in Japan or is it outside?
Oh yeah, Yakuza is such a Japan simulator because I like a few months back I realized that the drinks that appear on the game, as well as the alcohol, they're actual brands.
Okay,
So
so they have like
yeah,
licenses and stuff to
yeah,
sell
they
them.
must pay or get support or placement somehow budget for the game, because they are actual brands, and you can like say, if I go to Japan,
Buy that brand.
yeah, I can buy the actual thing, like the energy drinks and stuff like that. Like, hey, I'm in Yakuza.
Yeah.
And also they have, like, how in Japan they have their vending machines everywhere, because like that's a thing. And
Hmm.
so you can in the game you can do that and stuff, and services, adult entertainment, among other things.
Okay. Amongst, are you still a pimp in this game?
No, that I remember. This one doesn't have like this doesn't have the escort simulator minigame, which is the greatest minigame of all time.
Mm, okay. Well, well. Andre should be very happy with that.
Nah, the first Yakuza Zero is like the one with the biggest. It's like a game that has minigame inside the minigames, and there you go. Like, what was I doing again? It's stupid fun, stupidly mindful, mindless fun. Because you just go, you just start doing something, and then you end up doing something else. Like, how did I get here? And then they reward you with a chicken, and the chicken can be an investor or a manager in your company, and the chicken has skills. And you're like, wait, what?
What the it's really weird. Yeah. Did you know that in Japan? I didn't know that. I didn't. I didn't know this fact. I just learned it like a couple of weeks ago. In Japan, tattoos are banned from several places. If you
Yeah,
are a
yeah.
Western and you
I
come with tattoos, you have to.
Yeah, I know this, like many places, especially bathhouses, because bathhouses you're supposed to go in without your shirt to, well, to take a bath in maybe a hot spring or something like that.
Even
They
pools. Even
Yeah.
pools.
Well, pools, obviously, yeah. As well, they won't let you in, because if you have tattoos, like big tattoos, because they are heavily associated with Yakuza.
With yakuzas. Yeah.
And also, even some workplaces and stuff like that, they will let you work. And the other thing that I know
And
of
they
is,
have signs for that. So they put signs like of a, I don't know, a character with a tattoo and a band like that, like forbidden tattoo stuff like that.
yeah, they're heavily associated with Yakuza. But funny enough, they come like that. That tradition comes from firefighters, because they use originally, they used to have firefighters in Japan. They used to tattoo themselves, like really big tattoos and stuff like that, in case they died on a fire, and they could be recognized more
Mm,
easily or something
easily.
like,
Okay.
yeah, in a way. But then Yakuza took like a heavier approach on them,
In the culture.
and yeah, they became more mainstream with the Yakuza team. And they also, the way they make these tattoos is different to the ones, the technique in the way they inject the ink is
Hmm.
really different to the machine that they use on the states and stuff like that. It's like it's, I don't know, it's so weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a brush, and they injected it in the skin. It looks more painful than the regular,
Single
well,
needle.
yeah,
Oh,
the needle method that we know.
oh no. Okay. Okay. It was a cool fact. Other thing that I did these couple of weeks was I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's start with that one first. I didn't have it. Guardians. I watched Guardians 2, Guardians Volume 3 with Sandra, my wife, and we had a great time, man. It was such well done, beautiful movie to close James Gunn trilogy and the characters. I think from if I was gonna order the three Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm sorry. I think I might put this one first. Um, I think the first one is such a beautiful introduction, but this is a great finish. I think I would go 3-1 and then 2. But yeah, what did you thought about? What do you think about this Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, man?
I like it. It was fun. It was like you said, it was fun. It didn't feel because sometimes movies you go in and you are like, oh, this is not never ending, this is not going to end, like feels long. It didn't feel like that. It was good. I was invested in the story. I was like, okay, that's good. But then
Did
and huh?
did Andrew cry?
Yeah, she was like, ah,
I
man,
all the time I was sawing that I was watching the movie, I was thinking of your wife and thinking how many times would she cry watching this
well,
movie?
but more than I can't now that I mention I don't know if she was crying, but she was upset. She was like she wasn't comfortable. He was like, why they had to do that? Humans are like that. Like, yeah, I know what I I can change how things are. We are weird. We are bad in a way to nature, but that's not on me. I wasn't raised like that. I can't change the world. I'm sorry, but yeah, no, but
It's just a fact of the world, yeah.
yeah, I. It's not like I approve the methods, but I don't know how else or what to do about it, I guess. And also, but I like it overall. I like it, but at the end, I was like, ah, man, why? Like what I keep saying, like, is bad that you are able to do this, and but at the end, at the same time, you keep pulling all the crap that you keep pulling out to the market because with this movie, you prove that you can actually do something good. You can still do good
I think,
movies.
yeah, I think it's just the director, man. I think James Gunn, because he's
Maybe.
going, he has the, how do I say it, like the leverage of
Eh.
and the voice of not being bossed around, right? Like he's
Mm,
a proven like director. I've done these 2 times. I'm going to DC now. I have my movies. I have my things, and this is my, I think, of Guardians of the Galaxy, of his thing, right? He invented the tone for Guardians of the Galaxy, right? He perfected that tone, and I think that he's not taking notes from no one. Like this
mm,
is my story. This is my songs. These are my songs. These are my characters, and this is what I am doing with them. He when he was actually um, selected to direct this movie, he was given like a C-list characters. Guardians of the
yeah.
Galaxy isn't even a B, is a C. It's like the lowest of the lowest denomination of characters of the Marvel comics, and he took that source material and elevated it into a tone that now is has permeated games, has permeated the comics, and obviously it's his thing. I think of these Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, they are part of Marvel or MCU, but I think of them as as
Independent.
yeah, as James Gunn's, like James
Oh,
Gunn
okay.
independent. Like this is his thing. Just as I thought of, Peacemaker. Peacemaker was DC, but it wasn't Zack Snyder, right? It was this guy, and just like that, I think of Guardians of the Galaxy not like being part of Kevin Feige's like hand, but being this is James Gunn. And I thought that I think that's why it's, as you said, it's such a success and a departure of all the crap that they are producing, like as Marvel as a company. It's a departure, but yeah, I want to celebrate the movie. It was very beautiful movie, sad in some times, I guess, and that's why I was thinking of Andrew,
Yeah,
but
it's emotional because people. people just get emotional with animals. Yeah, they're because, and on top of that, they gave them like the big eyes and sad faces and all that, and you got like you bastard, you know what you're doing? Like, why are you doing that?
It was very beautiful. It was very beautiful. Baby Rocket and all that stuff, and he Rocket Raccoon at the end, like recognizing, okay, I was there.
Yeah, the rabbit didn't have legs. I was like,
Yeah,
why?
right.
Why?
It was very good. It was very good. Sandra and I really enjoyed it, and yeah, it was a good trilogy. I think, and now to go to Marvel and to your point, I think this is the last
Good
great movie.
movie.
Yeah, even I would say great movie that we're gonna see from MCU in a long time. Maybe they correct
Uh-huh.
paths in 10 years, but in a long time.
Hopefully they will do something about it. But yeah, I told her the same. I was like, this, I think this is like the last movie we're going to actually be looking forward to watch, because
Mhm.
we wanted to watch it because I was like, that one looks kind of good, but we waited to be on stream, and then we're like, oh, this is okay, this is actually good, this is but
And the numbers back it up, right? This is like the
yeah, I
best.
can't remember, but I think, yeah,
I
it
can
did.
look it up. Yeah, from all the MCU's, like Phase 4,
It's one
eh,
of the
eh,
best.
yeah, except again Spider-Man. I don't consider that to be MCU, but yeah, taking out Spider-Man, it's the number one,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and,
Yeah.
and it shows in quality and everything, right?
Yeah, and that's yeah, like it's a bittersweet ending, I guess, because good because it was a good movie, but bad at the same time, and bitter because you don't know when, how much, or how long we will have to wait for something like this to happen, or maybe like you mentioned, maybe another director like says like, no, we're gonna do this because people had enough. But even public or media in general talking about superhero fatigue, so maybe they're like actually realizing that, hey, we gotta do something. I don't know, but we gotta wait, and who knows how that is going to end.
Yeah, yes. Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm checking here. Volume 3. Uh, it closed with a gross of three
And me.
hundred 300 domestic. This is
Oh,
domestic in the
okay.
US. 300 million dollars, 358. So it's a lot of money, only in the US. And then if you go and go into international, you go and see, right, like worldwide, it's gonna be like uh, 800 million dollars, right? So that's a lot of money. Almost 850 million. So yeah, it's great for Disney, who is struggling with money, and great for James Gunn, I think, closing as he wanted. These characters. I've heard on interviews and stuff that there won't be like another Guardians of the Galaxy for
It
now. Like,
wouldn't it wouldn't make sense, but I it wouldn't make sense. But then I remember Toy Story 3, and then there was a Toy Story 4, and I was like, so what's going on here? I thought we were done with this.
you never know. Yeah, maybe in 10 years. Yeah, they're thinking of doing another Harry Potter movies or series or whatever. So
Oh yeah, because now we have to re-release the original movies in a series format to be
series
more
in HBO.
modern, for more modern audience. You know, like no one asked for that.
No one is asking for that. No, because the
No one.
movies are great and they are like maybe 10 years like from the last one, something like that. But
I'm gonna watch a few episodes just for morbid curiosity, because I guess, what are you gonna come up with? I gotta know, because it's you're messing with you're messing with the wrong audience. It doesn't. I don't get it.
yeah, those fandoms like Harry Potter, right? Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Those guys know their shit, right? Like I know my Star Wars. and I know what works and what doesn't. And people that love Harry Potter, also that read the books as we did, we know what's in the book, we know what worked in the movies, we like the movies, and then if you're gonna do it again, you have now two sources of comparison, right? You have the books and you have the movies. Now you want to be in the middle, and now we're going to be comparing you to these two great achievements. You're setting yourself for failure, in my opinion. Like
and
trying to compete with books and good movies. It's like, no, you did it. You did it.
and and the
Congratulations.
worst and the and the worst thing is that these companies, I don't know how in the pursuit of a new audience they keep forgetting the original one. And it's like the original audience could be yours as well, but you choose not to care about them, or in any regard or respect, or and then like you're choosing the hardest
Path.
of
Yeah.
the yeah, you're choosing the hardest path, and even then you're not I don't know, trying as hard as you should, or I
Yeah, I
don't
don't know. It's gonna be amazing when they say that, like, we're gonna do another Lord of the Rings movie. Oh my god, that's gonna be
Re-releasing the Lord
insane.
of the Rings trilogy.
It's gonna be insane when they remake it or do something like that. Okay, man. The other movie that I watched, and I know that you have a lot to talk about, it's there in the titles, is Avatar 2: The Way of the Water. I think it's the official name, The Way of
I
the
can't
Water,
remember
or The Way of
something water.
The Way of Water, let's say.
Avatar 2, The
Um,
Way of Water.
The Way of Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched it with Sandra again, my wife, and I know that you had some comments. I don't know if you have shared them in the podcast before,
Can't
because you
remember.
watched it first.
Uh,
But essentially, you said that you didn't like it, that it felt too long, that it was boring, something like that, right? I don't wanna. If you wanna
yeah.
say your.
Basically, I have other people's review, which is hilarious now. But yeah. What you gonna say about
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Tell.
So I'm gonna say this, because the movie, by any metric that you test this movie, like in its theatrical release, it was a success, right? It was a
Right.
financial success, uh,
Numbers, yeah.
and it was also a success with audiences. So I'm watching here, Rotten Tomatoes, and
Hmm.
audiences score it at 92%. So that's high. Everything that is in the 90s, I think it's high. Rotten Tomatoes 92 audience scores, and critics, it was at 76%. So everywhere you measure this, however you want to measure, like, this movie, right? If you go to IMDb, I think it's sitting at a 7.6 out of 10, which is
Hmm.
76%. So it's the same as the
Yeah, it's really high.
it's still 76 is still fresh in Rotten Tomatoes. 92 audience is very good. So my thoughts is that this is not a bad movie. It has great moments, but I think that the main problem of this movie is that it is actually two movies competing to be one. And this is my theory that I said to my wife. And I said, the problem with the movie is that the James Gunn, I think, had two ideas, and he tried to force them into one. And as a result, you have a bad pacing of a movie, and it feels long, even
The
though
pacing is bad.
the pacing is bad. And let me tell you why. So I don't think it's a bad movie. I think I would score it like 76. I think the critics, I think maybe that's correct. 76 is what I would give it, or 7.6 out of 10, whatever. But so it I think the runtime of this movie, let me check it here. The runtime of the movie is around
Uh,
250, something like that.
3 hours and 12 minutes.
Okay, yeah, 2 hours and 12 minutes. So, which are the two movies? I think James Gunn wanted to have his water world and water tribes because in the previous movie he showed that there were other tribes other than the one that we were introduced. So we knew that there were other tribes, and he wanted to do his water story, right? I want to do a water story with the whales and saving the whale. I don't know what was the movie. I don't know. I can't remember, but you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, the whale thing that, yeah, it's a whale.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
a whale.
whale.
But yeah, he wanted to do that movie, like focus on that tribe and the particularity and saving the oceans and stuff. All the environmental like speech like he likes to do here in Avatar. But he also wanted to have like the revenge quote unquote movie with the with the general, and those two movies fighting for time in the screen in the movie. It's what makes it feel long, especially in the middle, because you start with Jake in his tree and with his family and introducing that, and you introduce the threat, right? So you have
Hmm.
the threat is that we have now the general and all his crew in a Navi in a Navi body, and they are going to come back, and they start chasing them, and they get a hold on their kids, and they destroy stuff, and it's a danger. They are a danger, right? They are a threat. There is some fighting scenes. There are some confrontation there. You have some action, right? So you start like, okay, we have action. You have guns, you have explosions, you have stuff. Okay, there is a threat. Okay, good, good. That part of the movie, you are like, okay, this is shaping up good so far. And then he decides to move his family to the water tribe, and then the movie restarts. So you have 30 minutes of movie, maybe even more, that you of a pacing of a trajectory, like going up in action and in threat and in storyline, and then you just cut it down to zero, and you restart a movie now living in the water, right? Like
Hmm.
knowing how to use the water creatures and getting used to the water way of life, like noticing the difference between the people, the tale and the stuff, the customs, like all that world building is like starting a new movie. And that is when, after I don't know 20 minutes of that, is when you feel like this movie is long, because you basically started a new movie all over again, but you have been watching now for almost 1 hour, and it's been 1 hour, and you feel like this is starting, because they put aside like the threat of the general to focus on the rebellious key, like kid and his relationship with the water, the outcast water whale. And now we have a new threat with the whale hunters and all that stuff. That's taken so long, and that's when I see like those two movies like trying to compete, and then at the end he brings back the general like with the whale hunters, and they uh, are now the threat. I just felt like he needed to decide either to go with a vengeance movie with the general trying to get revenge on Jake Sully, or a movie that focus only on the water, and have another
Hmm.
reason why they move to the water. So I pitched this to my wife, and I want to pitch it to you and to the audience. Imagine a different movie, but I'm gonna take parts of his way of water. Imagine a movie that, okay, we start in the tree and with the family, and the people of the water come to Jake Sully, Turukbakto. Hey, we're having a problem in our villages because they are hunting a lot of whales and they are destroying our ecosystem. We need you, Turukbakto. and he says, "Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna go alone. Please, family, stay here in the tree alone, or I'm gonna go." And then the wife says, "No, I will help you. Let the tribe take care of our children." Okay, well, whatever. We go alone, but secretly the kids go, because they are rebellious, and he wanted to show like their personality, so they go secretly behind them. So they go to help the tribe uh, deal with the whales and the whale hunters. And as they arrive, he starts to, and you can introduce us to the culture of the tribe, to the creatures, as how they ride, all the stuff, without before you introduce us to the whale hunters. You know that they are whale hunters, but you haven't faced them, right? So you get like some training scene. This is very typical of the hero journey. Right now you are training to uh, you know the same thing, like ride a crocodile. I don't know what was that, or whatever, right? And the kids are there, and now we know, and he knows, and he calls them, why did you come? Whatever. Okay, now you can train with us. And they are bonding together with the tribe, whatever. Then we have a fighting scene. We have a like attack on whales. You meet our threat is not the general, is the same fat guy, whale hunter, whatever he's trying to extract from the whales. You can keep that, I don't mind. You keep that. You then have your typical arc. This is the beginning. Now this is the middle. We have the thread, the real thread with the guy, and then you have a resolution. So it's very well paced. And at the end, you fight the whale hunters. You defeat him. Whatever. Maybe the son dies in the process. You can keep that, and then they have to come together as a family and kill the whale hunter, whatever. And at the end of the movie, you go back into a scene where you show like this woman, colonel or whatever, saying in the new base, saying, "Okay, if we are gonna live in Pandora, we need to kill Jake Sully, bring him back." And you go into a scene where you show the general in a tank in his new body, like being and you cut it right now. You know that the third movie is going to be about the general. He's going to be back in a navy bodysuit, and you can have the third movie be that, like, revenge Jake versus the general, and that's it. You have the way of the water. It's just one movie, and then you have the
It sounds much more cohesive, or in a way, it's a better setup. The main issue with the movie, well, and makes it feel long as well, is how they try to introduce these new characters like the kids, and we spend so much time with them, and they're trying to sell them really really hard, and that's like the one of the parts that feels really really slow burn, and you're like, okay, so where are we going back to the main plot? Because
but, but exactly, but it's because they introduced them at the middle of the movie where
yeah,
you
and
and
you
that's
know something is going on, but then
yeah. That's why I say cut the beginning. You don't know that something is going on. You just are traveling. Like, remove the general and all that thread of the general coming back to them, and just deal with the whales and the way of water, right? And then
Mm.
because he wants to bring the general back, then you show it at the end.
Yeah,
Just to
you can
smooth it.
do it. You can do it. Yeah,
And
but
and
like you said, it should be. It could have a much organic, or I don't know, more friendly approach. You just
yeah,
did it. You just did it yourself.
yeah, for sure. So, like you say, introductions of characters. Yeah, if you're introducing characters at the middle of a 3 hour and 12 movies, it's gonna feel tedious. But if you introduce characters at the beginning, like in the first 50 minutes, you have your training montage, like your hero's journey coming to of age, whatever, right? At the first third of the movie, right? And then you use them in the other two thirds of the movie. and now you bring that runtime from 3 hours to maybe 2.5, let's say, or even 2:20. Now it's less burden for you. You spend like the introductions in the beginning where we are still like getting into the rhythm, and then when we are in the middle and in the end, you just focus on the story and the action, or whatever you're gonna do, and you don't bring us down, right? He just was building up like this tension and this threat, and then he just went back to zero and started like really slow to build up again, and that's why 3 hours and 12 minutes just felt like an eternity to me, man.
Yeah, and what I was saying is that my wife my watch my wife watched the movie with her parents
Yeah,
because they really loved the first one. Like, and my dad did too,
yeah.
because it was the first one was really, it was like, no, it was nothing revolutionary in the storytelling concept, but it was a good movie.
It was a good movie
um
and
yeah.
beautiful, and this one is also beautiful. It's
Oh
very
yeah,
beautiful.
this is a tech demo demonstration, 3 hour tech demo demonstration of graphics for me.
It was amazing, like everything that they did, like water simulation,
Yeah, I
acting beneath the water. No, it's a spectacle.
it's poor actors. It must be it must be a nightmare.
And I did.
But so they wanted to watch it, and they watch it like you did, via Disney,
Yeah, Disney
via
Plus.
Disney, the Disney Plus app, and they didn't like it because the same thing. They felt long. Like, why they're focusing on the kids? I don't want to. I don't care about them. Good for them, but I want, there's something else going on. Show me that. But yeah, they they didn't like it at the end of the day. They watch it, and they didn't watch it at the same time because like they left it on the background and they kept talking.
Yeah.
And and because it's easy that can happen really easy with the movie.
Hmm.
And the other main issue with these movies is that I understand that you are trying to get a great product out. I understand that you need a lot of technology, and you're even inventing the technology for the movie in some cases. I understand all that. And I understand the limitations that implies, which is time. And that's okay. I don't have an issue with that. But at the same time, I have an issue with it because it takes too long to get that one movie out, and I think the next one is going to be in 2027, something like that. and and
Yeah.
that and that doesn't help the movie as a whole, I think.
I don't know. I don't know. I am a Star Wars fan, so I think I don't agree with that because I'm used to having, Return of the Jedi was 83. We weren't even born. And Episode 1, Phantom Menace, was 99. So from 83 to 99,
Hmm.
you know how many
Yeah, yeah.
years you're gonna take that? That's 16 years. And then from 99 to 2002, okay, that's 3 years. 2002, 2005, that's another 3 years. So if he's gonna do 2027, and he released this, when was this released? Like last year?
Yes, yeah, last year.
Yeah, 2022. So 2027, it's 5 years. Okay, maybe he should bring that down to 3 years. But yeah, it's technology. But yeah, you can see water, and maybe you don't know that, because but water is like, and it still is one of the hardest thing to simulate, because we even don't have equations, physics equations to use. So every what we study, like in my career, when we study like pipes and all that, and all that stuff with water and fluids, mechanics fluids, what we have are, for engineering and science, we have approximations of equations. We don't have like we have like for force, force equals mass times acceleration. We don't have that, like is like a definitive equation for.
It's not an exact science.
Is not even
Uh,
even in engineering and science. So it's even harder to simulate water because you have to do it either by feel, by eye, approximations, equations, and stuff like that. So what I saw from this movie was like very, and that's why you have seen like very like you know very difficult water scenes in other movies or even video games where the water feels like oily. I don't know if you've seen that the water when they are wet, the characters feel like they have oil on them.
like they are like bright.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
they're
shining.
shiny. Yeah. It's because of the difficulty of rendering the water texture
Huh.
in and then the light and then other stuff. Water and fluids in general are very very difficult to study in science and to simulate
So
in
water simulation is really hard. So that gets yeah.
very hard.
So yeah, that and going back to Horizon, they did a really good job with that there.
Very good job with that too. Yeah, we're common. Yeah, but water is like the final frontier, right? Like hair was easier than water. Hair we have had
Yeah,
great
they have programs for that now and
now.
everything.
Yeah, but water is still like one of those things like if you're trying, I saw some behind the scenes of this movie. If you're trying to do like a chroma, like green screen behind and having water, like physical water at the same time, and then matching that with digital water, that's a nightmare by itself.
Because of the cropping and all that, it
All
can
that and
be.
the fluid motion, it's just water fluids is just something very beautiful and in our world. So I kudos to that, kudos to Horizon. Yeah, because doing that is very hard and it feels very good. Yeah, I would have just changed the pacing of that movie or extracted. I would just remove everything with the general, have a different the plot focus on the whales hunters and that threat, and then just leave leave the general to be like a teaser for the next movie. Like, okay, next movie is gonna be a war movie, Jake Sully and the Navis versus humans and the general, and that's gonna be the third movie. Like something like that. I think that was. Let's see what Felipe thinks. Maybe he will send us another 10 minute review of my comments.
He's going to he's going to create his own channel. It's a reaction
Reaction.
channel. Because they are on trending right now. So he's a reaction channel, and he's gonna do better than this.
Can you imagine if he does
No,
better?
that's happening. That's actually happening. This is a debacle that is actually going on at this moment, and the 26th of August. There is a debacle that reaction channels are cannibalizing really small channels, and the original video has like a 2,000 views. The guy, someone like I know that this one is and um not trying to make him look bad or anything, but just an example. Asmongold watches it, 20 million views, and the original video, two
But you know
thousand.
what? Going back to Asmongold, because people actually like when he reacts to his movie because he shares like the links and the people
Yeah,
and
no, he's
and
he's good in that. No, that yeah.
and for example Bellular has shown like how his videos increase in watch when Asmongold reacts, but there not everyone does that, right? Like to your point, like he shares the video, he says like, hey people, hey guys, if you like this, go ahead and support this guy, and that, but not everyone does like
No,
that.
do you know about as a sniper wolf?
No, no, no.
I'm gonna send you a video later. It's hilarious because the only thing that this girl does is react to TikTok trending TikTok videos, and it's such a I don't get it. I just it's oh my god, I don't
Yeah,
know.
reaction videos. I wanted to do reaction videos with this channel, and I told you like at the beginning. I like
Yeah,
them when it's a conversation, right, like
yeah,
when you are actually debating without being in the same space with the other person, debating the ideas or the content of the other video, and you are adding to it with your own thoughts and your own, your own arguments, right? Like, and it builds like sort of a conversation, right? And I have, I don't know. There are some cases where I see the original video, and then I hear the someone's reacting to that, and the comments and I can feel like that, and I enjoy that because I don't know, I respect the other guy's opinion on
Yeah.
politics and stuff like that. But there are some other like reaction content that is just what you hate of that, and I agree with you. It's just the hype reaction, like, whoa, he said that, I cannot believe it, but he's not actually saying anything. It's like only building hype around.
Yeah, it's just the and that's and these people you're mentioning, these are at least trying. When I show you what I'm going to show you later,
They don't try.
they're not even trying.
Yeah, you know that someone is trying when the original video is, let's say, 30 minutes, and the reaction is like 2 hours. He talked about the 30 minutes,
Yeah, he's using the video, watching it, pausing it,
pausing it,
talking about it,
talking
talking with
15
the
minutes.
chat, talking
Yeah,
with the
and going back.
chat.
That should be reaction video. But if the reaction video is 30 minutes and what you're putting out is 45 minutes, it's just, you're not even trying. You're just, wow, oh my god, I cannot believe it. And that's just trash. That's not content. And sadly, those hype reaction videos also
The
do.
algorithm, yeah, the algorithm is also not helping because people, I don't know, people are in this loop.
Yeah,
Let's watch, consume, let's watch, consume, 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 and they
yeah.
don't actually think, or I don't know,
The
debate.
reaction, yeah, the algorithm cannot distinguish between a good reaction video and a bad reaction
No,
video.
no, the AI
So,
is not there yet, I
so for
guess.
example, if I watch, I don't know, the IGN interview for Gamescom this week, that he knows, okay, he's interested in that event. Okay, let me now show you someone else commenting on that event. Okay, you watch that now again, as you say, consume, consume, consume. But he's not distinguishing between the good and the bad. He's just showing people, okay, you like that. Okay, maybe you will like this too. So just throw it at your face and just be done with it. Yeah, it's a shame. Talking about Felipe, man, just quick thoughts. Baldur's Gate 3. He said he sent us I don't know, 10-minute reply on why we
Yeah.
dropped the ball on defining RPGs. Did you hear like the 10 minutes he sent? Honestly,
Yeah, actually, I found it funny that he mentioned that what I did, that the that RPGs could be considered turn-based because they are based on board games and board games are on turns. I was like, yeah, okay, that.
yeah, but I felt like he was defining not video game RPGs but RPGs, like including board games, like
RPGs in general,
in
like,
general, like, yeah, like the term he was defining the term. And if you're listening to this, Felipe, you can send me another 10 minutes audio. um you were, I think he was defining just the term RPG, right? And he used a lot of,
mm,
okay, the top games like you can play alone. Yeah, but you can play D&D alone, but that's not how people play it, like the most majority of how people enjoy it.
yeah.
But we were not talking about like tabletop games. We were talking about video games, right? And yeah, the beginning video games were mimicking D&D, and they still do. Like Baldur's Gate is a imitation of D&D on 3D, right? Because
Mm,
they even have like the dice and stuff like that. Yeah, they take all of them. They take on some inspirations of D&D uh, that cannot be questioned. But what we were trying to define is what is like a core RPG video game. What should it be? Because turn-based. is just a system of action. It doesn't mean
And
chess.
it was a limitation also
Of,
on games
of
of the
course.
era, because how can we make this like, no, you feel it, the blank in your head, like, oh, he's attacking, so he's going to move there and pew.
Yeah. So you make such a great point, because many things that we have experienced in video games are not the intended designs of the gamers, is of the developers. It's just the limitation of the era, right? And yeah, people still enjoy like turn-based, but turn-based is not RPG, because chess is a turn-based game,
But it's not an RPG
but it's not an RPG.
game.
Checkers, and I can go on and on, right? It's not.
Parches.
Yeah, Parcheesi is also so being a turn based is just a means of the gameplay that we are going for, right? But it's not RPG as a video game. What I thought that we were trying to define is what makes it, and my argument was what makes it RPG, regardless of the action gameplay, is you being able to choose the role that you wanna, or the role or the roles that you wanna play in the
to
game. You know?
to actually choose or do what you want to do, or want
Yeah,
the character to become.
yeah. And so he said, like, okay, you can play a single player, but yeah, when you, let's take The Witcher for example. The Witcher is a single player game with RPG elements, and we said that
Mm,
last time.
mm.
But we didn't define it as a core RPG, because you cannot choose to be other thing than a Witcher. You are a
Yeah, yeah.
Witcher
You
because,
cannot be a sorcerer or a thief
oh,
or
correct. You are limited by the story to be a Witcher. Maybe you can change some stuff of how
yeah, your build. You can be a
you
tank.
build,
You
and
can be
that's
you can be magic focused, but a Witcher
a
is not a
Witcher.
magician. Is still, he uses magic, but it's not the same. But yeah, you can focus that your
And
spells or do
correct.
more damage. Yeah.
And those are the RPG elements, right? But it's not a core RPG game, because you are said to be a Witcher. Just as if you are playing God of War, you are said to be, you are said to be Kratos, and with his
A
personality,
bruiser.
a
Just
bruiser. Yeah, you cannot choose. You can maybe twinkle a little bit the gameplay with your choices, but you cannot choose, right? And that's why I said, okay, if it's gonna be a core element, a core RPG is where you can actually choose your character, and choose what you're gonna play with it. And I think that having multiple characters help that too. Maybe it's not necessary to have multiple characters. Maybe I went too far with my definition, but I think you must be able to choose your role, And he said healers, yeah, those are roles, but there are many roles, right? Sorcerer, stuff like that, bard, or outcast, outlaw. You need to be able. So, for example, this PlayStation game, Infamous, right? Infamous. I played Second Son. I didn't play the other one. You could choose whether to be, let's say, a good guy or a bad guy. I can't remember what was but you chose that. So that, for me, at least, it gives me like a stronger RPG element, uh, than even I don't know, God of War, right? Or something like that, because you are actually choosing, and that changes the whole story, and that changes the whole gameplay, and that changes your character, because now you are bad, now you're not good, right? And stuff like that, and the progression. But yeah, I think having multiple characters help that, like, fantasy of having different roles, and having that strategy. But at least you need to be able to uh, define and choose what you want to do with your character. And I don't think like Witcher, God of War, or even, I don't know, Horizon lets you do that, right? You have
yeah.
RPG elements, but you're not really choosing your character. You're just playing someone else's character. In this case, whatever they design that character to be, and the story, and the choices. So yeah, it's a little bit of that. I just wanted to go back with that. um Baldur's Gate's been doing great. people are praising that game a lot, but still not into that, man.
Yeah, but the issue is that it, like, I guess it can be, it can be something similar to your experience will be, but at least you knew. No, it doesn't apply. The main issue also for us is that we're not attached to anything. To we know we don't have a memory of the other games, so
Yeah, we didn't play it. We're not.
that doesn't help us at all. So, and also, like we keep telling, we have games we want to play, so why play that?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, that we have a and it's not games that, yeah, they might be new games, but are games we actually want to play. Maybe in a different dimension or world
Yeah, different
where
dimension of your life.
where we have the time, or this was our job. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, if that was our job, and we didn't have anything on our
pipeline.
playlist, yeah,
Yeah,
our playlist, and then, well, oh, okay, let's try this because it looks, they're saying
people are talking about it. Yeah, yeah.
people are talking about it, and let's give it a try, and maybe we will consider it, but right now it's not in our priorities.
Not even close, man. Not even close. And I've seen the more I see like gameplay and people playing about it, the more I feel like nah, it's not for me. And I thought about this Venn diagram, man. And I think this is where Baldur's Gate 3 people are. If you are a D&D fan, you like D&D, you like the whole turn-based style, a core D&D fan, and you like South Park, that type of humor and that type of word, you will like Baldur's Gate 3. That's my opinion, because it's just like, hey, you can do anything. And what's that? If you can be an asshole. And all that you see on online is people being an asshole. Like, I can shoot main story guys, I can kill quest givers, I can
I, I,
shoot.
I saw a small cinematic. I don't know, like totally out of context, the cinematic of Baldur's Gate where they kick a squirrel, like really, really sadistic. I'm like, wait, what?
Right, yeah, that's the South Park type of humor that I see. Like, okay, if you like that type of South Park, like being an asshole humor, and you like your D&D turn-based games, then Baldur's Gate is just for you. It's just this is my this is
That's your
my
alley. That's
this is my Venn diagram.
yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just like maybe somewhere in the far future when we have PlayStation 10 and Baldur's Gate 3 is free, and I don't have anything to play.
And I don't have anything to play.
Yeah, that's the issue, because there's so many games that still Sekiro, and I know the Elden Ring are there. They are going to happen. I don't know when, but they are going to happen.
I have Elden Ring, man. We need to time it so we both can play Elden Ring together, man.
But how did you get it physic?
You
Right?
got a physic, you gotta buy it, man.
Yeah, I gotta get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you gotta buy it.
should be able to get it.
You gotta buy it, and then we can play online, and we can, I don't know.
But what, you know what we gotta do, because this kid, you play Horizon at a really good time because you were able to play the DLC right away.
Yeah,
Which for me will be really, really hard. I can't remember the controls or
just
or the way I play. At least, like I
okay.
know I have my build, like the build I use. Like, okay, this is my bow. This is how I approach combat,
Hmm.
because I know this works for me.
Yeah,
So I don't remember that anymore, and that's really, really annoying. That's annoying, especially with games that you're supposed to be done with them, and then comes the DLC really, really late.
then I don't want to tell you the rumors that we're gonna have a DLC for God of War.
No, supposedly that's not happening. But God
No,
of War,
it's happening.
but God of War is so engraved in my
Okay.
memory because I play more than 300 hours of the first God of War. So that's like that's it takes me a bit on like oh we're back.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
yeah, but with Elden Ring, I know an expansion is coming.
Yeah, yeah.
I
They
know.
announced that last year, the DLC.
I think it's this year or next. I can't remember. So I think a good time to actually play Elder Ring is when they release this faction and we can start playing it, and also gives me time to get the game. And then the DLC will be there. And I'm like, okay, let's go to the DLC because it will be there. But that's just me talking,
It's
trying to.
expected. It's expected for late 2023 or early 2024. The
Yeah,
DLC.
you see, that would be like a perfect setup.
Yeah, maybe we can time that like for maybe December, January, something like that. Like we can go and play that. Okay, man, Star Wars. You said you wanted to also talk a little bit about Star Wars, and we have some time before my daughter wakes up. Um,
Yeah, Star Wars,
you
Star
watch
Wars.
all the movies, right?
I'm a movie consumer only, pretty
Hmm.
much. I watch I try looking for the Cartoon Network animation, but not the 3D one. The
Yeah,
one
the like the samurai type one. Yeah,
yeah, the samurai.
I call it the samurai. I'm sorry, I call it the samurai because it's very similar to the other cartoon
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't able to find it, or I don't know where is it because I watched that. That one I watched and I remember it being really really good. But that's really old and I wasn't able to find it. I don't know what the name of it, but okay, whatever. So I watched the movies in order, like episode release, episode one, two, three, Row One, 4, 5, 6. We didn't watch the new trilogy because that doesn't exist. People,
That doesn't exist.
my
It didn't happen.
my wife says that like that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
Uh,
I don't know
um,
what you're talking about.
but yeah, episode. I remember that I went to the movies when I was like 12, 13 years old. I watched episode one like four times in theaters. Like I remember that, and I really liked that movie. I never understood the hate that it got when it was released. At least by the original fans of the trilogy,
Yeah.
because there was a lot of drawback and they really pinning on the kid and like dude chill, it's just a kid.
Chill. It's just a kid.
It's just a kid, and they ruined the kid's life. And I told this to my wife because
Yeah.
she wasn't aware of this. The kid, like, they really messed him up, like he got bullied at school and also like
Wow.
like what. And she was like really like yeah, that kid, I don't know what happened to that kid, but I know that he had a really hard time growing up.
Wow.
and and so I watched it. I really like it, and the score, the music on
Oh,
that movie, especially for the last fight, like it's just
yeah.
the best.
Duel of Fates is just one of the best
Yeah, and
songs.
it
Yeah.
doesn't grow old. Never grows old. That was good. Attack on the Clones is good, even though with the cheesy dialogue. George Lucas George Lucas can write romance for
Yeah.
he can't. The guy can't. It's just like yeah, no, I hate sand. It gets everywhere. I'm like, why are we talking about sand?
Yeah.
You're trying to get late here, man. Try harder. And that's the episode two is really good. I like it. I don't care. Episode three is the culmination of all the conclusion, the hero's journey ending in a in a villain origins. That's good. That's okay. My
Do
wife
you,
was, but
do you think, just a question, do you think Disney would have approved a movie
no,
of
no,
how Anakin killed
no, no,
younglings?
no.
Right.
No, my wife was like, he's the one that kills him. Like, Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. He goes crazy. He goes a-hole on them like, let's kill the little motherfuckers.
yeah, and there is a scene, man. There is a like it's like I love that because there is no dialogue. It's after he kills them, there is a scene where someone like I don't know calls him or something. Like he turns back and he has a tear like running down his red like sieve
Mm,
eyes, like the conflict. Uh,
mm.
in Anakin like crying inside for what he has done, but at the end, at the same time, like feeling like the juice of his own pride and ego and hunger for power in his
The
red eyes.
cost, the
Yeah,
cost of that he's trying to achieve, or
achieve.
at least,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and it's like a second he turns and you can see like the little tear like going down his cheek and his eyes just um man that scene that it's just perfect. It's just summary of what is going on. Yeah, people.
And that's really good. And also, my wife, she has the ability to remember but not remember at the same time things, because sometimes when we rewatch something, she's it's like it's the first time for her. So it was like, okay, wait, you're telling me that she died? Like the
Sandra is
Padme
the same.
dies. Padme
Yeah.
dies, like, yeah, she dies. Well, I didn't remember that. Like, how are you telling me you don't remember she died? We already talked about this.
Yeah, obviously
she,
she dies.
she dies, and as yeah, I know what scene you're talking about.
Yeah, there are a couple of them. Yeah, man.
And
It's just what's going on inside, and I
yeah,
think he did a great job, and people
I don't
also
know why.
bullied
Yeah, what I
he,
can I keep forgetting his name.
Hayden Christensen,
Hayden. Yeah.
and it's just because look at that. It's supposed. Anakin is supposed to be someone that is struggling with his decision. He's not like someone that is very happy and he knows everything and he outgoing or very introvert. No, he's supposed to be dealing with his feelings, and the Jedi are not suited to help him. Like they don't want to help, and they don't know because they are so political right now. It's like he
Yeah,
needs
they
they
forget about their origins or what
their
they are
origins.
supposed.
That's the story. Like the
Uh-huh.
Jedi forgot themselves, and that's why
And
they needed to die. Also,
and Palpatine also tells them that, and even Yoda acknowledges by saying like,
yeah,
we
hey,
change, we have been too exposed to this world, and they have in a way corrupt us, or making us forget to our actual purpose, to be just an intermediary, not part of the Congress or the
or
private
the
security, or
yeah, or the Republic, right? They were supposed to listen to the Force and the will of the Force, and that's what Qui-Gon wanted, and that's why the song. I don't know if you know that, but the song of the fight in between Darth Maul and Qui-Gon, and then Obi-Wan. It's called Duel of the Fates because that fight is defining the fate of Anakin, right? If Qui-Gon wins, he gets to train,
to
uh,
actually to have maybe changed the
help,
story.
yeah, help Anakin and help him and train because Qui-Gon was the only different Jedi in that time. Uh, uh, but if he lost, then it was gonna be Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan is just lost. He's not Qui-Gon. He's also very into the council, into Yoda, into just saying yes to the council. Right? He's a yes man. So that's like Obi-Wan's. This first trilogy is the yes man. He looks up to Yoda and to the council and he believes in the Jedi Order, while Qui-Gon is the rebellious one. He doesn't give a crap about being a master or about being in the council. He only cares about the will of the Force, and
Hmm.
and that's why that fight is the duel of the
Uh,
fates because it's defining who's gonna be that father figure, Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan, and at the end it's
oh, it's really really good. I
very
really
good.
like the movies, and then we move to Rogue One, which I I watched it. This was actually my second time watching it, and I was like, "This is such a good movie. This is such a great like interpretation of what a Star Wars used to be." That
Hmm.
I don't get how they keep messing it up, because in a way, Rogue One is a modern Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it's a war movie, right? This is just, it's, we never had in a Star Wars. Now that I think it, it's called Star Wars, but we never. Maybe the second and the third one, like a really war movie. You know,
yeah,
Rogue One is a war movie. But the Attack of the Clones is just the attack. It's just the formation and just the okay. Now we have a, but we didn't have like the Clone Wars in the
in the
movies.
movies,
But
yeah,
we have
we see what happens after the war, which is on episode 3.
yeah, after the world, like okay, it's ending, but we they didn't have like the losses or
Hmm.
like all the shit that goes on like with war, like, right? Like everything that is wrong with war, we didn't see that like full scale, but Rogue One did like show
Yeah, Rogue One shows the sacrifices that people made in order to
in war.
give a chance.
Yeah, like they really like dying and people committing to the cause and even being great, right? Because some of the actions that Andor does at the beginning, like a spy,
Hmm.
he is not
Are questionable.
are
Hmm.
questionable. Yeah, he kills people like under his own side just because that's what we need to do. We need to try.
He's gonna snitch. You gotta kill him.
Yeah, stuff like that happens in both sides of any war, and that's I love that when they showed that like gray, because the war was supposed to be that like the gray, and at the end of the war, like the Clone Wars, the actual people also hated the Jedi's because they thought that they were like just police,
Arrogant and
yeah, soldiers like policemen and,
mhm.
and people. That's why not all people like Jedi's. Even after the Empire, Jedi's are not popular. Like they are not veneered like at the beginning.
Hmm.
At the beginning of the episode one, like if you're a Jedi, a Jedi, welcome. Like
You're unkillable. You're a myth. You're something weird
yeah,
that is alive.
yeah, and people respect them. But at the end of the whole saga, Jedi's are despised by also people like common people. Like, hey, you're just corrupt. You're not with the people. You're just with the power.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a great. I like that you were able to watch that with Andor.
Yeah, and then we move to episode 4, which is good. It's slow because it's the original. It's slow, but it's good. And you have great characters like Princess Leia, that is a dancer in distress, but at the same time, it's not, because
It's not.
she can take care of herself. She accepts help even though she doesn't like it, but she okay. We gotta do this and all that. And then you go like, and then episode 5 is good as well, and episode
Episode
6.
five.
Yeah, episode 6 too, obviously, because it's the conclusion of the whole Anakin story. And then Star Wars ends, and nothing else happens.
Nothing else happened.
And
Yeah,
they live happy ever after.
they live up. Now that you have them fresh, do you want to do a tier list?
It won't. It wouldn't be fair because of how I grew up.
Yeah, me too. I grew up the same as you, but we can try. Let's see. Let's see. Um, how do I do that? I did it last time. Yeah,
Oh, the how you call that?
yeah, the
The
presentation or the tier list. Okay, I have it here.
hmm. Mm,
Um,
me.
let's start with we have here. Yeah, this is A New Hope. Then we have episode
I haven't. Some of them I haven't watched. Obviously.
No, the holiday specials and all that
The
stuff. We're not gonna
Ewoks,
do it.
the
Let's
Ewoks.
start with this one. I think this is this is a New Hope,
A New Hope. For
episode 4.
me, it's an A.
Okay, an A. Okay. Let's go with that, and we'll review that. Then, this is episode 2, Attack of the
For
Clones.
me, it's a B because I think New Hope is better.
You think A New Hope is better? Okay, let's leave it at B. I will put it like A, but to the right. But let's see where the other ones fall down. Empire Strikes Back, episode 5.
The original trilogy is an A for me, pretty much.
Okay, you have it at A. Return of the Jedi.
Oh wait, no, that's an S.
You think the Return of the
Yeah,
Jedi is better than the Empire Strikes Back?
the
Wow.
Ewoks is like a thing that I understand, but at the same time we can live without them. But I think it's a great ending. Like, overall, like it closes things up. But
I personally, I would have
like
it
that,
like this.
okay.
Like
Mm.
Empire Strike Back is like an S tier, and maybe we can have like an A plus here with Return of the Return of the Jedi is good, but the Ewoks, it was just too much, George. It was just too much. Like Ewoks, knocking out with a stick,
Yeah,
stormtrooper is not
rewatching them, I was like, dude, they have stakes, and
a
the
stick
guy has a freaking armor,
armor.
and
Yeah, and he knocked it like in one try. It is like no, it's not happening. Yeah, it's too much. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Man, has to be an S.
yeah,
No
I
brainer.
think
It's the conclusion of
it
Anakin like
starts
arc
hard
into the dark
also.
side. Yeah, it starts like war. Yeah, it's a very action packed and then emotional and then descended into chaos. Rogue One.
Rogue One is really good. I think it's an S for me. Rogue One is it could be such an because Rogue One could be a just its own movie and it will be good. That's what I think is so good. But
I would put it an A. I don't know. It's good, but in my opinion,
I rewatching it was like, man, this is so sad that this is such a good movie, but I think it doesn't get the praise that it deserves.
yeah, maybe I need to watch it again. I obviously the scene like in the hall with Darth Vader is
Oh,
just great
that one's good.
fan service. It's
That's
very
fun.
good.
Yeah,
Like
that's fun service as hell. But you go, but then it
it's short
is
fan service. Yeah,
establishes him as a menace, like an unstoppable menace.
yeah, and as we didn't like have that type of Darth Vader
Modern Darth
in the
Vader, yeah.
previous modern that we don't like in the episodes like 4, 5, and 6. It's good to see that, right? Because um, now if you watch episode 4, he's again like the slow Darth Vader, and
Yeah,
there's some reason behind that.
that's the thing with the new movies, with the original movies. Sorry, that is they look slow.
Technology.
Yeah, they are limited by their era. The technology was a mess back then, but it's understandable.
Yeah, yeah, they did. They did a great job, nonetheless. Episode 1, the Phantom
Now,
Menace.
for me, that I this is what I'm telling you that it's not fair. For me, episode one is an S, but that's me. Just for
Wow, episode 1 is one of the most hated
yeah,
ones.
I know, but still, I don't know what people bitch so much about pop racing. But pop racing is cool. It's fun. Is messy and is dangerous and people die. But
I know. I love pod racing. I love pod racing. Maybe the only thing that I don't quite like of the first one is the Java.
oh no, yeah,
Too much Java.
Jar Jar Binks. It's just it's
Yeah,
annoying.
Jar
It's
Jar
annoying.
Binks. Yeah, it like too much. Even though we have a little bit of him like in the Clone Wars, but it's just it's too much. Like he went too deep into the Jar Jar Binks, and the technology wasn't quite there to have like a fully 3D
Oh,
character back in the era. So it,
and it aged like crap. I was
yeah,
rewatching it, and it looks really really bad, really really bad.
but it's still you wanna put it like an
Oh,
S.
put an
No,
A
no,
then.
I can. Okay, I can even an A, but then I feel like we're okay. So we're putting episode two into a B because of the sand
No,
and the
no, no,
romance.
no. Which okay, okay. Let's go with it. Which fight is better? The one with Qui Gon and Obi Wan, or the one with Obi Wan and Anakin versus Count Dooku? Yoda doesn't count. I like him. I
It's
like
funny.
him, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yoda doing flips and stuff like that, and
Flipping lightsaber. Yoda, I don't know.
we're gonna take that out of the
Okay, well,
equation, and
okay.
then
Which fight was more impactful?
to the story, obviously, it's more impactful. The Qui Gon, just to the story and the arc and everything that happened.
Okay, which
Um,
one had a better score?
yeah, no, Duel of the Fates. The other one is just better choreographed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a better even though the first one, the episode one it was done by a martial
yeah. This
artist
guy is
who was portraying
amazing.
Maul. But yeah, episode two, it was Konduku is great. I mean, that guy is just great, and especially Konduku versus Joda was good. But yeah, I think I'll put both of them in an A, man. There are no B's, even though yeah, these are maybe yeah, you want that, like you want it like this, and this no. Star episode two as a B, but
It's not
episode
bad. I'm not saying it's bad. B is not bad. C is bad for me, and D I don't want to talk about it.
yeah, yeah, all of these that they never happened, they are in here.
I
That's it.
know
Now,
Solo. I have no idea what happens in that movie.
I, I, I haven't watched it either. So episode, yeah, episode one is good. People have like this problem with episode one because it's like it's slow and it's a lot of politics and stuff like that. But it's just so essential to the arc of the story, and to have that also because uh, they didn't have a war. There was no Star Wars in that epoch,
What
that
is my
time.
war in my Star Wars?
Yeah, yeah. Episode one, there is no war. There is the threat of the world. That's what it's called, the Phantom Menace. There is a menace looming, like of a war, but there is no war, so you cannot have like war. It's supposed to be like the building up of the republic and of the council and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I can live with this maybe, but I feel like episode two. If we leave episode two alone as a B, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. It has great, like, like the whole scene of Anakin chasing down the bounty hunters, and then investigating that part, and then Anakin getting captured with Padme, and it's just Padme.
You're
Natalie
like
Portman.
Portman. That's a different deal.
Yeah, I have
You
a
have a
thing for Natalie
bias for
Portman.
Natalie Portman. That's different.
Bias. Clone Wars, you need to
Yeah.
watch it, man. I think Clone Wars is a series, so it's very hard to put it like because it has as any series it has like great episodes, and also there are some episodes like you are like eh. But so this shouldn't be like here because I don't know. They're very hard to judge a whole series, especially
No,
one with many.
series can be compared to movies. It's really hard. Like it's not really fair if we put it like that. I don't, I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so either. But yeah, It's fun. It's fun. It's always difficult to rank Star Wars 6, 7 movies. It's very difficult. Okay, man. I think we did it. We did it. Close us.
All right, everyone. Don't forget to follow us at OnlyFillers, especially on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, leave your comment, hit that like button, all that good stuff to help the algorithm not recommend you reaction channels because they're bad. And also, you can follow us on Spotify and social media at OnlyFillers if you prefer that kind of format, especially audio. So that's that. Take care. See you soon.